So the whole time you own the property for the first 10 years, the rate's fixed and it's interest only the whole time, which if you're just looking for cash flow, that might be most beneficial. Right now, rates are pretty low, and do we anticipate rates going higher at some point? Of course. So the reality of it is most people, buy, sell, refi every 5 to 7 years. And so are you really going to hold it for 30 years?
Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Investor Financing Podcast. And on today's show, we're going to talk about CashOut Refinances on your short-term rentals and what options you might have available. A lot of investors are purchasing vacation and short-term rental properties right now, and they're wondering what options they might have to do a cash-out refinance. Maybe they bought the property with a bridge loan, or maybe they bought the property and the value's gone up considerably. So what options do you have in the non-bank world for financing these properties? Well, most of the lenders that are not projection-based, I'm talking about non-bank portfolio lenders, if you have 12 months of history where you can print out your Airbnb or your VRBO printout showing your income, we can go off 12 months of those statistics. And so you're able to use the income from your vacation rental after 12 months. The other option is we can look at what that property would rent for as a long-term rental. And if it meets the debt service coverage requirements, we can go ahead and finance it, whether it's an acquisition or a refinance based on the rental survey done on the appraisal report. So those are your options. Now, there are projection-based lenders out there that will lend based on projections. They'll use a similar kind of AirDNA tool, and they'll figure out what the annual revenues should look like from a conservative standpoint, and that's how they base their financing. So there's different options. But if the property, from a long-term standpoint, whether a purchase or refinance, if that debt services, then you're fine going either way, which what that does is it makes the pricing a lot more attractive, right? There's one or two lenders that do projection-based versus about 15 lenders that do debt service coverage loans that aren't projection-based, and we can use 12 months of operating history from VRBO or Airbnb to satisfy the income requirements there. And that's just a simple printout from the accounting portion of those booking sites. So it's pretty simple from there.
Ready to dump your W-2 job or start a second career? Interested in owning your own business? Have you thought about owning a franchise? Introducing Emerge Franchise Group. We have systematized a simple process to get you on your way to owning your own franchise. It's a simple 5-step system to quickly identify the best franchise concepts that would work for you and your lifestyle. Book a call today by visiting emergefran.com or call 925-852-8261.
So there are options you do have. You can take down these properties with a bridge loan. We can do a 12 to 24 month bridge loan. You can get the property operating, and then you can refinance with bank debt. There's options for you to finance these as a non-owner occupied property. If you're going to use it part of the time, maybe you can buy it as a second home. Check with your residential mortgage person on that. But there are those options where you can get a little bit higher leverage by buying it as a second home, depending if you fit the criteria that you're going to actually use the property and so forth. So that's an option as well. But personally, I like the debt service coverage loans because you can buy them within the name of your LLC. You don't have debt to income problems like you do on conventional financing. So there's many options out there for you. The debt service coverage loans are based on LTV, credit score, whether it's a purchase, rate term refinance, or cash out refinance. That's how they're priced. And typically the non-bank portfolio loans have a declining 5-year prepayment penalty. You can buy it down to a 3-year, which would be a 3-2-1 prepayment penalty. So there are options. You can do a 30-year fixed. There's some lenders that have a 5-year fixed with interest-only options. You can do a 7-year fixed with interest-only options. Some have a 10-year IO option as well. So the whole time you own the property for the first 10 years, the rate's fixed and it's interest only the whole time, which if you're just looking for cash flow, that might be most beneficial. Right now, rates are pretty low. And do we anticipate rates going higher at some point? Of course. So the reality of it is most people, buy, sell, refi every 5 to 7 years. And so are you really going to hold it for 30 years? Depends on your personality. Some people hold real estate the rest of their life, but most of us are always, when we build equity, we're harvesting the equity, right? Every couple of years, we want to harvest that equity and buy more properties with that equity. So those are your options for debt service coverage ratio, refinance loans. We can use 12 months of bookings for income purposes. There are lenders that are straight projection based. And then let's talk about the last thing of today's show, which is what are the seasoning requirements. On the long-term platform, some lenders will not use new appraised value until 12 months, but I do have a handful of lenders that will use new appraised value after 6 months. So let's say you got a good buy on the property, maybe you did some value add, you wait 6 months, and now you can then do a cash out refinance. So there's options out there, lots of options. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. Feel free to book a call below. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. I appreciate all your feedback and all the calls I've been on over the last couple of years since we've started this podcast. It's very rewarding to know that people are actually listening and enjoy the content. So we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much.